Okay, hello, this is Raymond again. I was trying to talk about some objections that people come up with, and when you show them your opportunity. And today I'm going to talk about the objection of time. When someone tells you, "I don't have time," I don't have the time to do this. Um, There are a lot of other objections that people come up with besides time. Sometimes people it's gonna tell you, "I don't have the money," or "This is a pyramid scheme." You know, um, this looks like a pyramid thing. Um, uh, I, I don't like sales. Um, I don't like network marketing. I am not a salesperson. Um, how did you get my number? I didn't request any information about working from home. Okay. These are all objections. Okay. And once you know how to overcome these objections, um, you you are going to be a better equipped to deal with these objections when they come up. Um, um, Another one is Raymond. You know these type of things never work. You know you're just gonna waste your time, and then um, few years down the road you're gonna realize that they don't work, and then you're gonna go back and find a job. Okay. Um, this is the kind of objection that is gonna come from a very close friend or family member to you, who really feels that they love you and they're giving you a good advice. And if you're not careful, you're gonna fall victim to these kind of objections. All right. So you have to be very careful, and you have to look that person in the eye and just tell them, "I need to change my life, or else my life will never change." Because they are not willing to change, and therefore you know their life is still in the same situation that it was in 5 years back. So you need to be able to tell them that you're about to change. And some people are just afraid because, when you change, you're going to leave them. When you change, you're not going to be like them anymore. You're probably going to have more money than them. You're probably going to have a better lifestyle than they have. So they don't want you to change. You're probably going to move out of the neighborhood and move into a better neighborhood. They don't want you to go away. So for that reason, they're always telling you that it's not going to work. Okay, it's not going to work. But you need to get out of that kind of mentality, because that is the exact mentality that is going to hold you down. Okay, so today we're going to do the objection of "I don't have the time." So you go ahead and you talk to your friend or family member, or you talk to someone about your opportunity, and you show them your opportunity. You've already showed them the opportunity, and then they says, "I don't have the time." Okay. And sometimes they just don't say, "I don't have the time." They'll go ahead and explain a whole long uh, list of excuses. Raymond, I have 2 jobs right now, and I'm the type of person, when I start something, I like to finish it. If I go ahead and join you today, I'm just gonna be wasting your time and your money. You know, I'm gonna be spending this money. I'm not gonna follow up. So because the reason is because I don't have any time at all. I work um 2 jobs, 16 hours. When I come home, I'm so tired. I can't do anything for myself. I just drop and pass out. Sometimes I just put the TV on and drop, and that's it. And I fall asleep on the couch. Um, Nothing I can do for myself, Raymond. So I'm not even gonna have the time. Look, even my grass is not cut right now. Um, I haven't done my laundry. My laundry is still, in the laundry room. I haven't had the time to do my laundry. Look, my wife is pregnant, okay? My wife is pregnant. We're going to have another child. I mean, where am I going to find time to do a business from home? It's just not going to be possible, okay? The screen door is torn. The dog just chewed up the couch, and milk wasted on the floor. The 4-year-old wasted milk all over the carpet, and the stain is there. I have to clean that stain up. And yesterday on the news, there was a bombing in Iraq, so I'm not gonna have the time to do this, Raymond. I'm not gonna have the time. Okay? So what do you tell a friend that tells you those kinds of things, about the grass, and he has all these things that have piled up on him, and he's not going to have the time to do the business? What do you tell someone that tells you those kinds of things, okay? Well, look at that person and say, Tom, I was in the exact same situation that you just explained. I mean, you just reminded me of myself when you explained that situation, because I was in the exact same situation, okay? I was overworked and underpaid. I mean, I was working like 16, 17 hours. If you were working both jobs, that's a great, if you didn't work 2 jobs, don't say you was working 2 jobs, okay? Because you got to be truthful to people. If you're working 1 job, just tell them, look, I was in the same situation. I work 8 hours a day. I work 5 days a week. I work 10 hours days. Sometimes I had to work overtime. And when I came home, I was just exhausted. And I had all these projects that I was supposed to do, and I didn't have the time to do them. I didn't plan to just work all my life and just come home and fall asleep. I mean, I didn't plan that. That's not how I planned my life. I had great projects that I wanted to undergo. I wanted to build my car. I had my car project. It was sitting in the garage for years, and I always dream of building myself my dream car. And I just didn't have the time to do that. I wanted to go on a vacation. And I always dream of going on a nice vacation to Hawaii. I couldn't do it because I just didn't have the time. I was in the exact same situation that you just explained to me. But Tom, let me ask you this question. How many years have you been, how many years have you been working? When did you get your first job? How old were you when you got your first job? You might say, well, I was 17 or 18. I got my first job. And you say, great. Okay. So let's assume right now you're in your mid-30s or 60s. Okay. Now you've been working for almost, 15 or 20 years. And you still don't have no time to spend with your family. You got no time for vacation. Okay. You got no time to do the projects that you wanted to do. Do you think that if you stay in the same situation and work for 5 more years or 10 more years, do you think you're going to have the time to do the things that you want to do for your family and for yourself? Do you think that if you work for 10 more years, do you think it's going to free up time for you to do the things that you want to do for your family and yourself? Do you think that you're going to have the time to do those things? Working 10 more years. Whether he answers yes or no, just go ahead and say, it's not ever going to happen, Tom. You're never going to have enough time, and you're never going to have enough money, because at your job, you're only allowed to make as much money, just enough to pay the bills. That's all you're allowed to make. You can't make any more money, and your time is used up. All your time is used up just to make enough money, just to be able to pay the bill and buy some gas to go to work. That's how much money you're gonna be able to make, because all this thing is calculated by these big companies. They don't want you to make any more money than you actually make right now. They just want you to just be able to barely get by, to be able to just come to work and work for them, and and so that their company can grow. And they're actually right now they're thinking of downsizing the company so that they can make more money. Did you think of that? That these companies are always thinking of ways to downsize so they can make more money? Okay, so you have to wait for him to answer that question, because sometimes they're very comfortable at their jobs and they're not really considering the fact that these companies are always thinking of ways to downsize to make more money. Okay, and you can ask him, say, Tom, if you was running a company, you have 500 workers, and last year you made $2 million, and this year you made $2 million. Wouldn't you be thinking of a way to make $3 million next year? Exactly. Company owners are always thinking of a way to make $3 million, to make an extra million. So what ways are there to make the fastest way to make an extra million? If you made $2 million last year, you want to make an extra million, it's the downsize. Once you downsize and cut off some of your expenses, and the most expensive things is labor. Labor is what the companies actually spend a lot of money on. And once they downsize their labor, and why do you think they're always asking you to do more overtime? Because they cut down on the amount of staff they have, and then the staff that they have, they overwork them and underpay them. So you have to be a business person. You have to put yourself in the mindset of a business owner, and think the way they think, in order for you to understand why you're not getting a raise, and you're not going to get a raise next year, and not a year after next, you're not going to get a raise. And if you really complain, two things might happen. You might get a 10-cent raise or a 5-cent raise, or you might get fired. Those are the only two things that might happen to you. So, Tom, do you want to stay in this situation, or do you want to be able to go on a vacation and get paid while you're on that vacation? Okay. And do you want to be able to spend more time with your family, or do you want to stay in the same situation that you're in right now? Okay. And you wait for him to answer those questions. And then this is the last question that you're going to ask him. Say, Tom, on a scale of 1 to 10, okay, how bad do you want to have more time to spend with your wife and family, and make more money while spending more time with them? How bad is it on a scale of 1 to 10? If 10 was you want to do that extremely bad right now, you want to have a lot of time with your family and make more money while you're having more time. How bad? 1 being the least bad, and 10 being, you want that very bad. How bad do you want to have more time and more money? If he says 10, you say, well, let's get you signed up. Let's get you signed up, because if you don't sign up now, you're not going to, in the next 5 years, it's going to be worse. Okay? So this is how you overcome the objection of time. All right? And you have to be able to explain this, with passion. If you're not explaining this with passion and you get involved in it, and be real about it, it's going to come across that you're not sincere. You have to be sincere about it. Okay. So, and once you're sincere, it's going to come through, and that person is going to sign up. Okay. And that time objection is just not going to, cut it, because they have to see the value in what you're offering and what this can offer them in order to make that decision. Okay, they have to see the value, and you have to paint that picture. You have to paint the picture of having more time with your family, in order for them to make that decision.